Okay, so it's Autism Awareness Month and you've been asked to talk about autism on your local radio station. Fantastic, a chance to advocate for autistic people and get positive information out on the airwaves and cut through the myths. So you plan out all the things that need to be said around this important topic. The time comes and you're now on air ready for an in-depth discussion about your favourite subject. Then the realisation strikes that you've been assigned a filler spot between the in-depth report on the heroics of the local sports team and the news. As you are introduced, you realise you have 3 minutes before the news at the top of the hour. Hi, I'm Phil, a late diagnosed autistic older adult, and it's my goal to advocate for autistic people by providing positive information about autism and sharing a few of my own experiences along the way. So back to our little hypothetical. This situation has not actually happened to me, but I have seen this happen to colleagues when working in the not-for-profit sector. Be asked to talk about the work on radio, but then being allocated the feel-good filler segment leading into the news. This is a tactic used by many radio stations to get the social obligations out of the way without taking time away from the really important stuff, like sport or celebrity gossip. So since Autism Awareness Month has just begun, I thought it might be a bit of fun, if not a slightly stressful hypothetical, to try to come up with a 3-minute description of autism that covers the key points and maybe bust some of the myths along the way. Okay, ready? Let's give it a crack. Autism is a difference in how the brain works, affecting how we experience the world, particularly in our communication and senses. Socially, this can look a bit like introversion, but it's not the same. Autistic people may find socialising difficult because we process communication differently. We might struggle with unspoken cues like body language, tone, or facial expressions, or miss implied meanings as we process language in a strongly literal way. Sometimes we might respond to emotion differently, either more or less intensely than expected. All this might mean we find it difficult to form relationships, leading to isolation. Autistic people can be either over or undersensitive across any of our sensory systems. This might mean sensitivity to touch, noise, lights, smells, foods, or movement. On the other hand, we might be under-responsive, not noticing hunger, thirst, or even pain in the same way as other people. The autistic nervous system is often on high alert. When overwhelmed, this can lead to shutdowns or meltdowns. We may use repetitive movements known as stimming to regulate ourselves. These might be visible like leg bouncing or hand flapping, or hidden like scrunching our toes inside our shoes. We may also seek sensory input through movement like rocking, swaying or spinning, or through pressure like compression clothing or weighted blankets. These things also help regulate our nervous system. Autistic people also tend to process the world in great detail. This can mean we take longer to respond, but it also gives us deep focus and strong pattern recognition. We often prefer routine and predictability, whether that's in daily life, work, or even what we eat or watch. Many autistic people also develop highly focused interests. Autism is a neurodevelopmental condition, meaning we are born autistic. It's largely genetic and it's lifelong. You can't catch or cure autism. Sometimes autistic traits aren't obvious early in life. As life becomes more complex, autistic traits may start to become more noticeable. For some, that may be in adulthood. This is especially true for people who learn to mask their differences. Autism affects people of all genders, ages and ethnicities, despite historically being identified predominantly in young boys. Many others, especially girls and those with average or above average intelligence, have simply been missed. That's why autism diagnoses are increasing, not because there's an epidemic, but because we're getting better at recognising it. Autistic people are often logical, creative and deeply values-driven. In many ways, we don't just have values, we are our values. Autism is a disability, but much of that comes from existing in a world that doesn't support difference. An autistic person is not broken or defective, but wonderfully different. Okay, how did I do? Did I cover the key points? Let me know in the comments if there is something that I missed. How would you approach this hypothetical? Would your 3-minute autism description look like mine, or be quite different? And different is okay, by the way. I think for me, so often when someone asks me about my autism, I think, where do I start? I have more than 50 long-form videos on the subject, but summarising that into 3 minutes is a process that until now had been too overwhelming to even contemplate. So hopefully I will now be better prepared to have those conversations also with people moving forward. If you think this 3-minute autism description is helpful, please share it widely. Until next time, bye for now. And happy Autism Awareness Month.